All right, guys, we're live, or at least I think we are. OBS had a new update, so I think we're good to go, but obviously we need to verify. Let's go ahead and get notifications sent out, and we will make it happen. Yeah, we are at a pretty dang critical level right now in crypto. You can look at the high time frame stuff right now to give you an idea of where we're essentially at. I'll go into that a lot really soon. Let's go ahead and get everything pushed out. Let's see. Let's make sure everything is live. Cool, we are. Awesome. Okay, cool. All right, let's get to Discord. Sweet. Business with Brian. Dude, I have had a really rough last couple months. So there was a lot that happened. What the heck? Why am I not logged in? Oh my gosh. So I've been on the road for the last like 2 months now, straight. Essentially, I got so involved in crypto that essentially the rest of my like everything else basically just went to shit. So I had to focus on that, and now I'm more in a better spot. Also, dealing with taxes with crypto and things like that have been very stressful. So I'm in a lot better spot. Also, in case you're not aware, I had the driver for my business, so I could do it while I was on the road. Well, long story short, it didn't work out. So basically, I'm back on the road by myself, so I have to drive along with everything else, and it's just been a really rough time. So either way, I'm in a lot better spot now. So I really do plan on getting being more active, but we'll see how that all goes out. So either way. We'll talk about the overall market. I can't get Discord to work on here. Give me 1 second, guys. Um, do. Let's see. Sec. Um, yeah, I'm at my home right now. I'm rarely home at this point, so everything got logged out on my home computer, and yeah, it's been fun. Do. What in the world? Okay, let's see. There's that. Okay, cool. I think I'm logged in now. Um, awesome. All right, cool. There we are. Sweet. Okay, awesome. So let's go ahead and start getting started with this. Basically, let's talk about where we're at in the overall market. So if you guys remember, let's go to a higher time frame. Let's look at the daily chart. We can see that ultimately this is where we're at, right? We had this peak, we've dropped down. We're now retesting the essentially the top of the previous range back in 2020 or 2018. So we're back at that region. So this level does have a lot of significance, and we should hold off on it, right? Or we should be able to hold this level. Now, we've been here a lot longer than we really should be. And so because of that, it's definitely looking pretty weak. It ultimately looks pretty dang weak right now, and I don't like the overall structure of this. Now, ultimately though, let's see. Let's see how I'm going to look at this. So we're beneath a lot of really key levels. And so like this one's a huge one, the 200 weekly moving average. You guys can see we've essentially been resting as support this entire way up. And now it's very clear to say that we are absolutely beneath the 200 weekly, and we're not really reacting the way that we should be. And this does not look healthy, right? Because in previous times, the 200 weekly, even if we did fall beneath it, we were able to recover it or bounce off of it. But we have not been able to have anything that resembles support on the 200 weekly, which is definitely not a good situation to be in. So this does not look healthy. And then, of course, if you also look at it with the DXY, if you look at traditional markets, etc., overall, there's a lot of really nasty things happening in the market. And it's really been unprecedented. So my the plan has been since the top, realistically, the top over here. So right around here, I released a video, and my ultimate goal was I was going to wait for the drop and then sell the retracement, right? And essentially, the retracement you're looking for is something like this, right? So ultimately, I'm going to come down there, get up here, get a pretty decent reaction up into the 618 region, around there, the golden pocket, and we just never gotten it. And it's very uncommon because if you go back to previous markets, like we absolutely get these bounces back up. Either if you want to consider this the bounce, or down here, we get a reaction up here to around the 618 region. And it happens all the time in these markets. You guys can see this as well. We drop, we come back up, we get this really healthy retracement, right? Right here, and also right there. This market, we have not gotten any retracement, and it's been very unusual, right? This has just been a solid downtrend of just continuing to just drop. There has been no recovery of any capacity. So it's a very unique situation, and traditionally you're going to have a peak, and once the peak comes in, you're going to have a bounce before the actual capitulation, right? This is essentially what a market looks like. Now, if you move this over here, you can say maybe this was actually the peak and this was the retracement, which is uncommon, right? You traditionally don't have a market top and then the retracement go higher than it, but it does happen. It's really, really, really rare. And I was watching a lot of blockchain backer stuff, and he actually makes a really good point that the most of the hype and the most of essentially the momentum in the market actually took place in this region, right? You can even look at the volume as well. The volume is absolutely higher in this region than it was over here. So the argument is this was actually the top, and this is essentially just the this is just an extended retracement before the ultimate capitulation. And so this was the sell opportunity, this was the peak, and this was a sell opportunity before the ultimate collapse back down. All right, and that's, I think it's really hard to argue against that logic right now, is that this was the peak and this was just the retracement before the continuation back down. So it's really crappy because I was expecting another big bounce and we never actually got it. I almost sold some up here because of this weekly breaker, but I actually did not. I chose not to. I made that decision, and ultimately it did burn me in the end. But it's just a very unique market, and it doesn't look healthy. Like, this does not look healthy at all. All right, so that's on the weekly time frame. Get an idea where we're looking at. Key levels, like, guys, this is the key levels. Like, we are at these key levels. These are the regions where you really want to look for to start accumulating for long term. Now, the problem is this very well could take an extended period of time. Okay, if you wanna really look at, like, this was the peak, then we've already had over a year of accumulation in this bear market. So that essentially matches or close to it what we had back here. Like, let's say that was the peak, about a year, somewhere out there. Like, this is essentially the depths of the bear market in time. So if this was the peak right here, right, this was the peak, we're essentially already matched the amount of time. But if you want to go by actual price, then if that's the peak, then we still have further to go. And that's just an overall idea of getting an idea of how long this takes to really start the accumulation and rise back up. So yeah, ultimately what I'm trying to say here, guys, is, like, this is definitely unusual. And the other thing that's also been happening is what was going on in this period of time. Well, the NASDAQ, the traditional markets, was still on a parabolically increasing bull market. And we're definitely not at that point right now. You can see the ultimate momentum of the traditional markets was still going upwards. And is this a rejection, and is this going to be a continuation back to the downside? Possibly, right? So this actually could have been a massive bubble pop, and we have never been through that with crypto, which is certainly concerning, to say the least. Let's go to the log chart, make it a little clearer on here. Should make it clear. Yeah, if you go to the log chart, you can make it pretty clear. This is definitely just a parabolic rise that has been happening since the 80s, essentially, right? Since the 80s, you can see it's just been a parabolic rise. I would not say that the 80s necessarily, but essentially like 2002, even 2008 after the financial crisis, we've definitely just been in a parabolic rise. So what happens if this parabolic rise does reverse and we actually start looking to more of a long-term recessionary market for the traditional markets? Well, we've never been through that with crypto, and so we really don't know what to expect there. Now, because crypto has reacted so, it's been so correlated with the traditional markets, if the NASDAQ decides to go into a long-term bear market, you'd have to assume that crypto will as well. So has the bubble popped? Are we done? All right, let's go ahead and get rid of some of this crap. All right. So ultimately, what I'm trying to go with here is just explaining like the ultimate long-term high time frame stuff. It could be a lot worse than what it appears. Okay, if this levels up here do not hold, it can get really, really nasty. But if we go to the lower time frame, we can see that our ranges are still being respected very well. So actually, I forgot to send a notification out, didn't I? Live on YouTube. Jump in. Where's it at? Share this. Let's talk about okay, so that's not pushed out. Awesome. Okay. So yeah, let's talk about the lower time frame and these ranges, and this essentially this what we've been seeing back here. Okay, this was the range that we had back in May of this year, and we can see this 4-hour level and this 4-hour level was very, very important, right? So we even had this 4-hour breaker, this 4-hour breaker. We bounce between it, bounce between it, bounce between it, bounce between it, right? So every time it hit this level, you could buy. Every time it hit this level, you could sell, right? Now we did have one bear trap, and that's actually really important, or a bull trap, and I'll talk about that soon. But essentially, every time it came down here, it was able to hold these levels until eventually we lost it, right? So we come down here, bounce, come back below it, we confirm it as a resistance, and then it just ultimately collapsed, right? This is what I'm looking for right now to see if this thing's actually done. And I know Melik's been in the Discord as well, talking about it as well, as if we lose this key level, like that's where the bad things really start to happen. So let's go back over here and see where we're at. Okay. This is actually not a 4-hour level. This is a 6-hour level. I thought that made the most sense, and it actually has held up very, very well so far. So 6-hour level, come up here, we bounce off of it, we test the top side, bounce the bottom. We did get a bull trap, we fell down beneath it. We got another bull trap, and this actually I became very bullish on because I assumed that if we were going to get back above here, I was ultimately targeting up here. Now, as you guys can see, we did do well for a while, but we ultimately did collapse, right? Some sort of a rising wedge pattern that we broke down from this on this diagonal trend line. We fell back into the range, and now we're back into a range-bound market, right? So is this entire thing a bull trap like we had over here? And I think there's a really, really strong argument to say it is. I think this actually is a massive bull trap that ultimately had us fall back in this range. But as we can tell as well, we're still in this range. So ultimately, not that much has changed, but the fact that we have had this deviation on the top side and we've fallen back into the range lets us know that we're probably going to get a deviation now to the downside, and that does make a lot of sense. So ultimately, it's hard to say, but realistically, I think there's a pretty damn good likelihood that we do ultimately fall down here. And then what happens on this retest is so important, guys. Like, it's so important. If this retest is able to break back above here, instant long. That's super, super, super bullish. I'll be very, very bullish in the market. If we're able to sweep all these lows and then reclaim it and reconfirm it as support, this would be a very, very strong buy opportunity, and I would be absolutely long from here up into around here, right? Top side of the range again. Why not, right? And ultimately, if we were to get back above, I probably have my stop loss probably somewhere around here, right? Have a 6-hour trade. And then if we're able to get back above here, Then we can target up to this region, right? And this would be my new target right here, up here. And our stop loss would essentially be some sort of an acceptance back in the range. So once we see an acceptance back in the range, that's where I would go ahead and close this back out again as a stop loss. But this is essentially the two plays that I'm looking at. Right now, I don't really know if I'd be comfortable longing, but just blindly longing this region. I would want to see some sort of a reaction down here, a reclaim, and then back up. This is what I'm looking for before a continuation back to the upside. And again, where would I target? Again, top side of this range, guys. I think this range is still very valid. Right here, this retest confirms that this level was very important. So ultimately, I don't want to really assume that this range is going to break to the upside until we actually get that break to the upside. Now, if we do start getting some acceptance above here, I will be targeting up here, which is the bottom side of the previous range, right? And I think this is probably about as high as we can expect within any sort of, I would say this is about as high as you can really expect for this market, up to around 28.5, maybe up to maybe 30,000, maybe. And that's it. I would not expect this market to go any higher than that. And after this point becomes an entire unknown. I have no clue. All right. Right now, I have pretty damn good confidence that if we're able to reclaim here, we can target up here. If we get above here, we can target up here. And after that, no clue. If we're able to reclaim this range, especially like you have this massive range right here, if we're able to get back into here, then we can start looking at, okay, maybe we can look to that actual golden pocket retracement. I think that makes sense, right? You can look for an actual golden pocket retracement from here to here. So we could probably target somewhere around 52,000 or 49 to 53,000 if we're able to reclaim here. So that would be essentially, this is the play. Bottom side of the 618. Like that maybe, right? That'd be a pretty decent play if we can get there, but like only if we're able to reclaim this level. So, but probably I would be looking at continuation in the downside. So probably what I'd be looking for at this point. So either way though, guys, I think it makes sense. I don't really want to be long. I don't want to short here. I don't think it makes much sense to short here because we do have this support level that has held up so well. It does not look strong, okay? This does not look strong, but I don't think it's typically a good idea to be shorting into support levels, right? Now, if we lose this level, okay, let's say we start jumping down here. What am I going to be doing? Okay, let's say we get that confirmation like we saw up here. I really, it was a 4-hour confirmation. Yeah, here you go. If you get this play right here, you test it, you fall through, you retest. If you get this interaction right here, easy play. I would be looking to short, but here's the big issue. I would only be interested in shorting to around 16,000. That's it. This is all I'd be looking to go into. I don't really think it makes much more sense to go much further down than that. Hey, what's up, CB? I would not be looking to go much further down than this. And the reason why ultimately is because we do have this massive weekly breaker that was formed back here. That we had back here. This can't talk today. This massive weekly breaker that existed back whenever the retracement, back in 2017, 2018. This 618 retracement right here, okay? This support or this breaker, I think, is going to be a very strong support level. So this entire region is very important. Also because when we came down here, we came back up. What did we find resistance at? The same level, right? And also, when we broke above it, we even had this scam wick down here to retest the continuation back up. So, yeah. So, yeah, like this level right here is very important to me. I think this is a really, 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 really key level. And if we lose that, hypothetically, let's say that we just fall through this. That's it, guys. Like, put a stake in it. This thing's done. I wouldn't feel comfortable holding crypto at that point. I just wouldn't. I really, really, really wouldn't, because there's not many more key levels. You have this weekly breaker that might give us some support down here at 11,000, but ultimately I'd be looking at around 6,000. So this might give us support, but ultimately I'd be looking right back here at 6,000. And even that, I don't even know how comfortable I would be holding at that point. This is like, no shit, like Great Depression sort of like ranges in my mind. So if we lose this level, we have a good shot right here. If we lose that level, I would expect a prolonged bear market. Like, not like a year, 2 years. I'm talking like 10-year long bear market where we essentially are just in the depths of hell. All right. 6,000 would probably be the bottom if that was the case. However, I would not even be surprised if we get as low as 3,000 right down here. Yeah. 3,000 and possibly even 1,800. 1,800 was a key level way back in the day. I would say 1,800 is also not out of the realm possibility. So, yep. Yeah. So ultimately, guys, this level right now we're at is pretty important. There's actually a lot of reasons as to why this level right now is important, due to the DXY and also to the traditional stock market. And I'll go over that in a second. I'm just looking at Bitcoin as a whole right now, right? So Bitcoin right now, if we lose this range, I would be interested in shorting, but only shorting to around here. If we lose that, I think the market's essentially in a really, really bad spot at that point. So basically you can kiss all hopes and dreams of getting back to, like, 50,000 completely away if we dip down below 14,000. I think that's it. If we go below 14,000, it's screwed. Market is screwed. All right. But right now, we're still range bound, right? We're still range bound. There's still a damn good chance that this level does hold. There's a damn good chance that this level does hold even for a short term. On the lower time frame, if you go to the daily, I think it was a 3-day. There it is. Okay, 3-day level right here. You guys can see. This is still a 3-day breaker, right? We're still inside of it. It doesn't look strong, but this is still a 3-day breaker. And, like, I would not necessarily count it out just yet. I do think that if we're able to get up to around this region, let me go ahead and do this. Daily. I'm trying to find the best levels to show you guys. I think the 3-day is probably the clearest. I think if we do hold this level, I would definitely be looking to hedge up here, right? Hedge right here. Definitely hedge a lot more up here. So I'd be taking some profits here, taking some profits here. But ultimately, guys, this level's not. I don't necessarily think we're just done at this point. I think there's a damn good chance we have a lot of consolidation in this range. We did dip down a bit. We have this cluster right here. We have this cluster right here. The horizontal price action does not look that bad from this level, right? And if we do fall down deeper, like, this is still a major bottom of the range that has held up many, many times. So until we get this, right? Until we get this, I'm just not interested in selling. I don't think it makes sense. Yeah. And like I was saying, if we do dip down here and we're able to do this, that'd be very, very bullish. Be very bullish. Something I really, really want to see. And if we do come down here, right, I would not be blindly bidding necessarily down here. But if we do come down here and start getting some bullish price action, I would definitely be interested in something like that. Well, maybe like that. I'd be looking like this. If we get down here, like this, that's like essentially the what I'm looking for. If we get something like this, like a low established, a sweep of the low, recovery, turn this low into a support level, then I'd be looking to essentially long the market pretty aggressively. And then the first target would be the bottom of the range. Second target would be the top of the range. Third target right here. Then fourth target would be way up here in like 50,000 region. Okay. And that's like in a macro perspective. But ultimately, that's what I'm looking for, guys. So, yeah. If we do dip down, there's not much room to fall, I don't think. I think this is going to be a good support level. So, now if we lose that, though, like I said, if we start losing this, GG, it is over, y'all. There's just nothing. I don't even know what to go from here. Like, it's just done. Like, yeah, negative 3,000. Exactly. All right. Okay. I hope that all makes sense on the overall Bitcoin price action. CB, Love G. Hey, guys, I miss you guys, too. Believe it or not, I really, really did. I just had to get some shit in order. Like, that's basically it. So, made some big mistakes in trading. Got really pissed off myself. And work hindered. I definitely hurt some relationships as well with my wife, and I wanted to really spend some time with her. I had to just basically go cold turkey on crypto for a while, just so I can get my mind straight. I'm in a much better spot though. I feel a lot better. And it was very, very needed. So overall, a lot better spot mentally. And what my goal is that I can get to more of like a sustainable place, right? Sustainable. That's the big key that I was really missing. I wasn't able to sustain the energy that I had and things like that, and it was just really messing me up. So I'm in a lot better spot though. My wife's a lot more supportive of me and everything else. Yeah. It's been a rough last few months for all of us, and it hit me as well. So here we are. So all right. Either way, yeah. Okay, let's talk about Dow. So Dow Jones. This has been yeah. I really wish I would have sold here. It looks like a pretty damn obvious play too, and I just didn't really. I don't know what my thought process here was, honestly. But this is a golden pocket retracement. You guys can see that. Golden pocket retracement. We came up here, rejected off the 200 moving average. Like, these are all really, really, really important signs, and I just ignored them. Not really a good reasoning there, but I essentially did. I ignored this. I really didn't take the significance of this retracement, but the 6-minute retracement happened. Golden pockets definitely work. Came up here, rejected off of it, lost to 200, and then we just started tumbling down. Now, where are we at now? I know the ES is at the golden pocket. We are definitely not. We're at the 786. This does not look healthy. Yeah, this does not look healthy. Traditional Dow Jones does not look healthy. Just doesn't. 200 weekly still here, so this is still definitely a pretty. I would expect it to still be a strong support level. So if we do come down to around 29,000, I think that's a pretty important level. And I think this would really coincide really well with the like $16,000 region for Bitcoin. So if we do drop down here to the golden to this weekly 200, due to the relative strength on crypto being a lot weaker than the traditional markets, I think that if we do dip down much further, it's going to basically mimic our drop down to 16,000, which I told you guys I do think there'll be a lot of support at. So really would like to see us find support here, but on the Dow, I don't see many reasons why this level makes much sense. Now on the SPX though, looks different, and that to me is a little bit interesting because the SPX actually is at an important Fibonacci level. It's at the 702. It's at the 702 golden pocket right now, and it looks to be holding up relatively well right now. So SPX actually is at a key level. The Dow Jones looks like it's already lost it. And on the DXY, we're also at a really important level. I think it was the 8-hour. Yeah. 8-hour breaker. You guys can see this, okay? DXY, and I've said this for a long time. This right here has been the leading just monster, the elephant with razor sharp teeth, and fire breathing and all that. Like this is the guy in the room who has really just been messing us up. The strength of the US dollar has been an absolute tell on what's been going on in the market. And now that we've gotten above this monthly, We've gotten above the monthly. We've closed above it. Like, this just does not look healthy. All right, it does not look healthy. There's not really much of a bullish case on the macro perspective, but on the micro perspective, this level is still a breaker, and it's still acting as a resistance. Now, if we are to just shoot up here and turn this into a support level, I exit all crypto markets at that point. Like, I think this is going to be a major catalyst of just complete breakdown in the economy at that point. So, because there's nothing above us to really give us much of a resistance point. So let's get rid of this. There's a diagonal trend line that's here that might give us some support, but I just don't even know if it will, honestly. Ultimately, we're at a really bad point right now. So you can see there's just nothing. It was a massive decline in the DXY, a massive weakening in the US dollar that didn't actually bring much of a any reason to really consolidate. So it really has no sort of consolidation at this point. Now, this region should have acted as resistance, and we did sort of, but like not nearly as much as we should have. So ultimately, 8-hour breaker. This is my make or break. If we get above there, I don't think it's going to go well at all. Expect lower prices across the board. Bitcoin dominance is also interesting to me. And this is actually really, it's just interesting. And I don't really know how I think about this yet. Let's go back here. Okay. We can see that Bitcoin dominance is really low. This means altcoins have a lot of relative strength compared to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin does not look strong on the higher time frame, and we've been down here for a long time. So the argument is that actually this is a bear flag, and we're going to be breaking down here. So that means that essentially Bitcoin will have altcoins will have relative strength compared to Bitcoin. So if we do start breaking down here, I'm really curious to see what happens with Bitcoin. This could mean that Bitcoin collapses and the alt market collapses less, or it could mean that Bitcoin increases and altcoins increase a lot more. Either one's very possible, but as you guys can see, like, this trend line was very significant, or it is significant. We actually had another retest right there. And until we get above this trend line, I'm going to have a bias towards bullishness on the altcoins, right? I'm going to have bias towards bullishness in the altcoins, or in the other way to look at it, I'm going to be extra bearish on Bitcoin, okay? So Bitcoin, I'm not interested in picking up until we are able to reclaim this level. But if we are able to reclaim this falling trend line, then I'll definitely be interested in picking up some Bitcoin, depending on the overall market conditions as a whole. But yeah, that's a pretty important one to me. Let's see, what else? Longs are still incredibly high, which is still weird. Honestly, I don't even know how to take that. Let's look at the total charts. Yeah, I was afraid of this. Ugh, this looks horrible. This is horrible. We're resting on the 200 weekly. Does not look healthy. We're also beneath this weekly breaker. It looks like an actual solid retest of it. Ugh, that just looks garbage. Just looks bad. Altcoin market. This is going to be the total 2. So this is the one that does not include Bitcoin, but has every other asset in here. Let's do some charting on here, find some breakers, etc. Actually, what am I doing? Let's just clear it all off. Delete all drawings. All right. We're now beneath that on market cap. You know, this actually is not a bad spot right now. This is still a key. I don't like how many times it's been tested, but this daily breaker is definitely significant. We can see that right there. So essentially, we can see it's a good pivot point. It's a really good pivot. Like, this is definitely a good pivot. So test. The more it gets tested, the more likely it is to break. But it's still a support until it's not. So it's still holding. which is really interesting. And it looks like the total 3 chart's actually up for the day. So it's really Bitcoin and Ethereum getting wrecked, but the rest of the altcoin market's actually holding up fairly nicely. And we're also still, yeah, technically we're still holding this weekly breaker. Altcoin market does not look that bad. Traditional markets and Bitcoin look horrible, but altcoin market, excluding Ethereum, does not look that bad here. It really doesn't. And I know we do have some coins that are actually doing pretty well right now. Let's look at them. Atom is one. Atom is just looking gorgeous. I don't know what the hell this thing's deal is, but it looks really good. See, a lot of these coins are actually green today. Gala's actually green. Gala's in a really interesting spot right now. And I've actually been picking up some Gala lately. We're still at this daily breaker. You guys can see this, right? This daily breaker, very key level. We're still here, just hovering around it. So as long as we're here, I'm still relatively bullish on it. And then if you look over here, this is also a weekly breaker. We're just resting on top of it. So we haven't lost the Bitcoin pairing. We haven't lost the USD pairing. So essentially, we're at a key support level on Gala. So until we lose it, it's really, really hard for me to just be bearish on it. Algo, I do have some. Let's see if it's still worth it. I honestly, I don't know. Let's dive in real quick. Let's see if it's still worth my time. Yeah. Okay, we've broken above all these key trend lines. Yeah, bounce. It doesn't look horrible. I don't think Algo is the best play, but there's definitely some bullishness here in some capacity. Rejection off the 200 daily. You know, that's definitely not great. 4-hour 200 has been reclaimed again. That's not bad. Atom just looks gorgeous. What the hell, man? I don't know if I'd be fading Atom at this point, guys. I just don't know if I really want to. It looks really, really clean. This looks parabolic. This is parabolic. It's not even looks like it. It is. This is definitely parabolic. Oh, man. What's the market cap on that? $20. Oh, 4 billion. Yeah, I mean, it has plenty of room to run. God, this is just nuts. How much USC and also Tether there is. Oh man, that's just crazy, guys. It just sucks. This market sucks, guys. Atom does not look bad though, like at all. It looks really, really, really healthy. Doge is also at a pretty key level. I do like Gala right now. I don't really think I'm interested in selling it. Link BTC is definitely giving some strength here. Luna again? Oh my god, what the hell is with this damn coin? Alright. Am I interested? No, I'm not. That's a big ass daily breaker. I'm not interested in this coin. No. I'm just doing a scan of the markets right now, seeing what altcoins look pretty decent. I do have some fiat sitting on the sideline, and I am interested in deploying it at some capacity because we are at the bottom side of the range. I think our downside is relatively limited. And I also have some EOS. I did pick some EOS up once we broke above this trend line. So I did pick up some EOS right around here. $1.20 or so. Yeah. This doesn't look bad. No, not interested in that. Waves, no. I have some Unify as well. Doesn't look healthy. Probably should sell it, honestly. Yeah, this loss right here does not look healthy. Let's look at the BTC pairing. Not bad. You know what? I'll probably stick around with it. I don't have very much. I'll hold on to it. Solana, USD. We're still at this major consolidation. That does not look bad. This is really interesting, guys. A lot of these altcoins don't look that bad. The overall market looks just god awful trash, but a lot of the altcoins don't look that bad. Yeah. And of course, you also have Litecoin is also breaking above pretty convincingly. Looks to be consolidating as well above this breakout. Oh, man. Like very clearly broken above. I know HBAR was listed on Coinbase. I just don't know if this looks healthy. Yeah, you can see the massive volume spike because of the Coinbase listing. Looks to be flagging. Total collapse though. God, I don't really know if I want to play with that. FLM, E-Gold, DOT. No, doesn't look good. We definitely don't like this. See that right there? Looks like a very clean bearish retest. DOT looks really bad. Do not like that retest. Do not like that retest. CRV. No. Nothing really sticking out on that one. BTC pairing is above the 200 daily. That's not bad. Let's look at this. Let me move this over here. This looks good. Am I losing? Like, am I wrong here? That looks like a pretty clean bullish retest, right? Break above, bullish retest, back with the 200 moving average. Looks pretty decent. USD pairing is holding support. Barely. Man. I don't know. I just don't know if I really want to get in this market right now with Bitcoin just looking like garbage. I'd be interested in taking a long right here. This is basically it. I think this makes sense as a good long opportunity. I want to see some bullishness into it. I may even set some blind bids right here. So if we do collapse down, how's the volume looking? Let's look at this. Let's look to Coinbase isn't bad. Finex Binance. Let's look at Binance. Do a volume analysis. Okay. Let's put some RSI up there. We definitely do have a bullish divergences forming here. We definitely do have bullish divergences. going into a support level. Man, I'm actually not. I'm cautiously bullish on the low time frame for Bitcoin right now. Very cautious, but man, it doesn't look that bad. It's making some sort of a channel too. Let's do this. I'm going to show you guys this channel. So if I go over here, let's see, channel. There it is. Losing my mind, y'all. Parallel channel. There we go. Okay. Maybe it's not really a channel. That was a channel, more of a falling wedge, which is still not a bearish structure. But we do have volume really isn't showing us too much. I'm going to look at the funding. Crypto funding rates. This is good. Give me Google. I hate. Okay, crypto perpetual funding rate. There it is. Man, I was losing it. Yeah, I haven't been home in so long that I haven't really been here. So my computer is all jacked up back home. There it is. Coin glass. Definitely negative funding across the board. Yeah, I think I'm bullish. I don't know if I'm necessarily bullish, but I'm certainly not bearish, if that makes sense. Now, could it drop a little further? Yes, but am I really interested in this? Like, I think this overall structure in this region does make a lot of sense for a bounce. I think we're getting a drop right now. Son of a gun. All right, I'm actually interested in picking some up here. What do I want? What do I want? What do I want? What do I want? Yeah, we're definitely collapsing. But I'm not that bearish here. I'm really not. Now, when I say I'm not that bearish, I expect a drop, but ultimately I do expect this level to hold it. So I think this is our region right here that I'm interested in picking some up. Oops. Yeah, this right here, that's where I want to pick some up at. I think it makes sense. It's a quick play. I'd probably, if I go long, I don't know if I really want to target up here. Say right here. Probably all I'm looking for. I don't know. What do you think? You guys think I should take this or no? You got negative funding across the board. Yeah, we got negative funding across the board. We have this major support level right here. This has been acting as a really strong support level for the last, gosh, since June. So it's been like a 3-month support in this region. It's been a ranging market as a whole. We definitely are having some bullish divergences on RSI. The volume is debatable. It's really hard to tell on that one. So maybe bullish divergences on RSI or on volume, but mostly RSI. We also have this rising trend line on the RSI as well. Could be significant. We do have a clear trend line on the top side. right here on the low time frame. The big question is, what assets would I want to pick up? If I was to pick something up, what do I want? I might just take Adam just because it's such a strong player right now. Daily 200. Haven't been above that since April. That's tough. This does look healthy, right? Yeah, this looks healthy. I don't like the lack of volume here, but ultimately it does look really good. How's Ada doing? Yeah, it looks like garbage. I may need to dump off some of my algo though. I really don't want. I don't like how much algo I'm exposed to right now. I just don't think that my play is still valid. Monthly breaker per band. The BTC pairing is also. Band is at a major support. Strong candle here too. I might. Is Band on Coinbase? I forgot if it was or not. I think it is. Yep, Coinbase is there. I might pick some Band up. Interesting, guys. All right, how's Bitcoin holding up? Not well. Yeah, ultimately, I don't expect that big of a drop. I think right here is essentially all we're going to get. If we do drop this far, I think this is essentially the bottom. And I would even argue to say this red area is the bottom because it's going to be that 8-hour breaker. Yeah, 8-hour breaker right down here. That's essentially what I'm looking for. So I do think we are going to drop a little further, but I don't think we're going to drop that much further here. I'm looking for longs until this happens. That's my short right here. If we get that, yeah, it's done. But until we actually drop beneath this and start confirming it as support or a resistance, I'm just not interested in selling here. Really not. I think the play is still to buy. And if we do lose that, where are we targeting? What is that, 18? Yeah. If we lose that, what am I targeting? Oh, wrong chart. There we go, right here. Weekly breaker, right there. I think it makes a ton of sense. Yep, that's where I'm at. I don't know, guys. That's based where I'm at right now. Ugh. I don't know what to say anymore, guys. Like I think that basically covers everything. I think I'm gonna do an update on Discord as well, just a text update on what my thought processes are, and essentially just go through everything again on there. But I think I'm pretty confident right now. God, what the fuck? This looks bad, guys. This looks pushing up as well. DXY is pushing up. That's not a good sign. This has got to reject here. I just cannot stress it enough. This has got to reject. DXY has to reject if you're bullish. Now, if you want really, really cheap prices, great. But here's the other thing, guys. Like, if DXY starts to really start increasing, like getting above here and confirming, like, I think you legitimately have to talk about Great Depression style of a crash. I think you have to at that point. I really do think that it's there. God, it sucks. That's just not fun for anybody. Even if you're in a good position, like the entire standard of living across the world just drops. That's not really something we want to look for. Hmm. Yep. Just looks really, really, really. DXY looks really, really strong, which of course is not a good thing. What are you guys' thoughts? I mean, I know I've been talking a lot. Like, what are you guys' thoughts? Do you guys think we're going to be able to? Do you think we're able to hold our range and maybe keep breaking up and go to a golden pocket retracement or possibly new highs? Or do you think we're basically done? We're just going to collapse and go to the depths of hell? Or are we going to just go sideways for the next 10 years? What are your thought processes, guys? Shot. I needed that. I'm getting tired. Um, Algo's collapsed pretty hard. Oh gosh, sucks. How's the euro looking? Euro's actually holding up fairly well today. Yeah, this is another big thing. So the euro is another really important one because look over here on the euro. This consolidation cluster is still a major support level, right? And we fell beneath it. We confirmed this as a previous all-time or this previous low. This previous low has been confirmed as a resistance, right? So now we're sort of just like bouncing between here, but we're between these two major resistance levels. We have or two major like between a rock and a hard place, right? So we have the rock, which is this entire consolidation cluster is so important um, for the euro. That's all we got. I mean, you can't. There's no other support here. If we start losing this, we lose all of our major support levels, and then we're looking at going back down below where the euro was released at back in 2002. So if we start losing this level, we essentially go into a parabolic collapse on the euro. Now, if we're able to hold this level, the next major resistance is of course this, right? We formed this low, we came back down, we tested it, we held it as support, and we fell through, and now we've even done a retest on it on the bearish side. So we have this major generational sort of support level, and then we have this low resistance that was formed and held as support. We fell through, and we now have a resistance. So losing this would be extremely bad for the euro, and getting above here would be extremely good for the euro. Okay. And you're like, well, what do I care about the euro? Actually, you really should pay attention to the euro because the DXY breakdown by currency. Yeah, here you go. The DXY, 54% of the DXY index, which I've talked about so much today, is the euro. That's what it's weighted off of. So the euro is incredibly important to keep track of. So if you want the DXY to decrease, which is what we want, okay, that means you need the euro to hold. And that's so important. So this level right now, we're at right now, if we really need to hold this region, because if we start losing it, that's really, really, really bad for DXY, or it's really good for the DXY because it will increase, but increasing also essentially is a direct negative correlation with the entire crypto market and traditional markets, which means that we'd be looking to a Great Depression style of collapse. So I know that's crazy to say, but like there's no other way to avoid it, guys. Like that's how it is right now. Okay. Bitcoin's holding up relatively well right now. We've recovered pretty nicely. But yeah, I think I am bullish at this point with Bitcoin. I think we are going to be able to break out of this structure, either collapse down here for a quick bounce, or we're just going to basically work our way out of here and then shoot up. I think that's ultimately my thought process here. Yep. It's my thought process. I think this 8-hour breaker is going to have to hold as support if we do dip down there. Or we have this massive 6-hour support level that should hold, that's been acting as a major support level. Or we just work our way out of here because this entire region is definitely a support. And actually, didn't even notice this, but this cluster right here, let me draw this out. This 8-hour cluster. Support, fell through, resistance, break above, retest, continuation up. So like, trying to really overanalyze a range is really, really hard because that's all this is. It's a big range, right? Just like over here. There's no reason to try to understand what was happening in here. The key was you had this level and you had this level. That was it. That's all you need to worry about. As long as you're inside there, doesn't matter. You have a one bull trap up here, but outside of that, until you actually decisively break out of a direction, you're just basically guessing. So same thing essentially exists down here, right? We have this region, the 6-hour. There we go. We have this region here. We have this region here. Bounce between, bounce between, bounce between. We decide a direction. Now, this is legitimately a really, 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 really nasty bull trap, and it's very bearish, the fact that we were just collapsing right through there. But ultimately, though, like that's what we're looking for. So, trying to analyze this low time frame is really, really hard, but ultimately, until we lose this region, it's really hard for me to be that bearish at this point. All right. I think I'm just rambling. I think I'm going to go ahead and end the video because I don't have much else to say. Do you guys have any questions specifically? If you guys have any questions, I'll answer them or try to help out, look at charts, whatever. But like, I think I'm just basically, I think I've laid it on the line where I'm at. We look at Raven. I know Raven's doing really well lately. Ooh, it's a nasty collapse. Oh, son of a gun. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful retest. Son of a gun. Wow. Interesting. Yeah. I will look at the bearish divergences on DXY. So the only issue with DXY on bearish divergences, it's really hard to. It's hard to really look at this with divergences because we definitely do have divergences here forming. You can see how. Let me get rid of that. You have this parabolic increase, right? And it's definitely a parabolic increase. There's no other way to look at this. So if you take a Oh my gosh, I'm losing my mind, y'all. I don't know what it is today. Oh, here we go. Okay, a curve chart up here. Like, I think it's pretty safe to say that's a parabola, right? Like, I think that is by definition a parabolic increase. Okay. So whenever you do get parabolic increases like that, essentially what happens is you're going to have divergences form a lot. And that's just something that just happens all the time. And um, those divergences also happen on other assets as well, like Bitcoin. We can look at this. Okay, like when we had this parabolic increase, a little rough. Let me try to fix this. Okay, like there were plenty of divergences that also came into effect. We have a high, a high, a high, a high, a high, right? But you see how we have a low, or a lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, right? So we had 4 different essential bearish divergences that formed on Bitcoin before we actually had a collapse, right? So, and if you were just looking at bearish divergences, then you would have been basically screwed over a lot, because you would expect that like this would have been the top, right? Back here in 50,000 or whatever, right? So bearish divergences on parabolic movements are really, really hard to really look at. If it's more of a linear one, it's a lot easier to take it more of like, if you have a linear divergence, it's a lot easier to really see that. So like, here, let me draw this out, show you what I'm talking about. Let's do this. Damn. All right, so something like that, right? What I'm going with here, you look at the top side, right? Top side, bottom side, this is a linear movement, okay? It's a rising wedge. You're going to have essentially the RSI, it's going to go like this, right? Oh, shit. Ah! Oh my gosh. This sucks. Okay, on the RSI structure, and they have a high, low, 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 low. All right, that's essentially what it's going to look like on the RSI. So then you're going to have a clear higher highs, lower lows. But because you have this as a more of a, because you have it as a linear like lines and not a parabolic movement, it's a lot easier to know when that bottom thing falls out. So whenever, let's do this. So whenever this falls through, it's very clear because you have that line, right? On a parabola, it gets really hard to know where the actual bottom side is, because parabolas are just they're not linear. They're harder to tell. I hope that makes sense. It does in my mind, but I don't know if it makes sense for you guys. So on this parabola, we have an idea of what we're looking at, but we've had many divergences get invalidated on the way up. I say many, not as many as I thought. Let's see. Let's go to weekly. Yeah, we definitely have divergences forming though. There's no doubt about that. So you guys can see how we have from here all the way down here. There's definitely a lot of divergences that have been forming. If we lose this parabola, that'd be a really, really, really good sign. It's definitely there. There's definitely divergences here. Exactly how important that is, it's really, really, really hard to tell though. I'm very cautious of calling a top on DXY. Just really, really, really cautious. I think my horizontal level is basically my line in the sand. I, I'm bullish until we essentially get above here. All right. Once we start to confirm this as a support level, then it's done. I think put a stake in it. It's over. But ultimately, though, I think it sucks. DXY is just so damn strong, guys. And you also look at the fundamental indicators underneath it, right? Everything that's going on underneath it. Like, I hate to talk about fundamentals, I really do. But I miss you, brah. Hey, man, I missed you guys too. I really did. All right. Well, let's talk about the fundamental shit beneath it. And you guys know I'm not a huge fundamental guy, but like it's definitely something we have to consider as well because this market's very unique. The Fed went out and started increasing all the interest rates, and everything was really going really well. And then, of course, like you're talking about, the Fed meeting is going to destroy us. If you talk about the Fed has constantly kept increasing and increasing interest rates to try to control the demand. And we had a really good CPI that happened 2 months ago and was really well. Everyone's like, oh, okay, great, we're going the right direction. Maybe they're going to start reversing their decisions, etc. And then last month, although the inflation year over year, or not year over year, month over month did drop a little bit, it was way above what the expectations were. And so essentially, that means that they got to go more aggressively to really take care of it, right? That means it's not as effective as what they assumed it would be. So, and when you have a very hawkish Fed like we do right now, we got to be very cautious in the market. So, I'd be very surprised if they come out and are like, oh, everything's going really well, so we're going to go ahead and do only a 0.5 or a 50 basis point increase or something like that. I think everyone's pricing in either a 75 basis points or a full percentage increase, and it's already really, really high. So, and that's going to absolutely destroy a lot of these markets. Okay. Yeah, I like my indicators right here. I think that 8-hour breaker does make a lot of sense. This is basically it. We get above here, it's going to keep going up, and we really don't have a high side target. We just don't. I don't even know where to target at that point. So we'll just say. Yeah, I'll check gold. I actually haven't looked at gold. I'll look at it. Nope. See, this is interesting. See all the green on the board? There's a lot of green right now. And this is based upon the Bitcoin dominance looking so weak, which is weird to say, but like Bitcoin dominance is weak, which means altcoins actually have a lot of strength right now, relatively. So, God, it's interesting. This market is just nuts. Ethereum plus Bitcoin. How are we holding up? Yeah. Okay. All right. Gold. Gold. Gold futures. Probably what I'm looking for. No, that's not right. Gold. AUX. There it is. Yep. Okay. Let's try to find the right one. Oh, wow. 200 weekly. This is not that old of an indicator. Let's go back. AUX. What gives me the most price history? Okay, that works. 1834. Holy crap. What? What? Huh. That's interesting how they condense it so much back here. Really interesting. Do I use Fibonacci extensions? I have dabbled with them in the past, but I've not had very good success with it. So I understand how it works. I know the overall thought process behind it. Retracements, I've had a lot more success with than extensions. So it's not really my thing. So horizontal price levels are traditionally what I'm looking for in SFPs and things like that. Bullish divergences, bearish divergences for finding a high price point. And just lost it. Losing horizontal support levels is really what I look for tops. But yeah, extensions are definitely something that I understand, but I'm not really a huge fan of them because they're just so they're so hard to um, they give you a good idea of expectations, but they're not very accurate. They give you a really good range, I guess, if you want to call it that. Losing that 200 weekly. So this is actually a really important level right now. On here, it's very obvious. 200 weekly is such an important level. Losing this would be a very bad sign. We can also see how we have this horizontal levels back here. God, it's a rough time. So this entire level, you can see how test, probably move up a little bit more. Maybe there. Test. Yeah. Wow. So right now, you lost it. Looks like we've retested it today. So we really, if you're bullish or if you want to be bullish on gold, to remain bullish on gold, you have to have some sort of recovery. But right now, this looks like a low time frame. Bearish retest. Wow. Yeah. It's really nasty. I think it's interesting though. I love seeing people talk about gold and how much it retains its value, but like right now, if it's supposed to be a like inflation proof or recession proof, it's not doing a good job of it, huh? It's really not. What else we got? We have a falling wedge sort of here. And we don't even have a bullish divergence forming yet. Hmm. No. Just trying to find a bullish case here, and it's hard, man. It's really hard to see much. I think the key level with gold right now is you just got to get back above it. You were absolutely right. 1680, 1681, somewhere around there. Unless it can recover this, this looks really, really dangerous. Like, really dangerous. Now, recovering that, especially breaking above this trend line, super bullish. But it swept all those lows. All those lows have now been swept. So essentially, it's pivotal. It's a pivotal point, guys. I didn't even know that how significant this gold chart was right now, but we're at a very important level. Holy hell. What do we got in the higher time frame? What else we got? Okay, I like this level. Yeah, it's a good level. Weekly 200. Mm. Ooh, even tighter. Yeah, okay. Lose that. Target right down here, 1580. I think that makes a lot of sense. I'd be looking to buy around there if I was looking to get into gold. Mm. Wow. It's just rough, guys. Oh, DXY, I need you to drop. You need to drop. This is the chart. This is the one I'm looking at, guys. Like, this is the one I'm really got to be being very careful about. DXY. This is it. Like, this is the one. I'm actually going to set an alert. I'm going to set an alert right back here. DXY breaking up. All caps, too. If I get that notification, that'd be a bad sign. Longs are increasing. Low time frame. Bitcoin dominance is collapsing still. Oh man, I'm just this just gets me cautiously bullish, guys. Like it's really cool to see how well these trend lines have played out though. How far back does this one go? Okay. It's really neat to see how well these things have played out. Like we can see the significance here. And this is actually on the 4 hour. That's how you can pull this up. 4 hour chart, you can see test. Like on this chart, if you're looking at the Bitcoin dominance chart, it's not accurate if you go to the higher time frame, only the lower time frame. So you have this 4 hour test, breakout, retest in this region, lost it. Then we have a bearish retest. So like, unless we can reclaim this trend line, my assumption has to be altcoins are going to outperform Bitcoin. It has to be. I have no other way to look at this. So altcoins should outperform Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is currently at the bottom side of a massive range. So if I was to play anything, I play alts. That's what I'm looking for. Not Bitcoin, altcoins. But ultimately, Bitcoin will give us an idea of where to start entering the market. Dip down here, be very bullish, or let me rephrase it. Dip down here, we're about to have a collapse. That looks very heavy right now. This looks heavy. This does look heavy though. What is this perpetual contract? Bybit. Like this is the region right here. I want to pick up some stuff right in this whole region. Even for a short-term play, I think it makes a lot of sense. Mm, 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 mm. this is definitely past the 618, right? I'm sure it is. Yeah, we're at the 786 right now. Yeah, like this is it, guys. Like it needs to bounce here. 19, like 19.1, 19.2 is basically as far down as it can go. DXY needs to reject. Yep, that's where I'm at. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get off, guys. I don't have much else to say. Um, that's where we're at. I don't know where else to go from here. So besides just watching the market and watching the charts, I think my high time frame is pretty. I think I'm pretty content with where I'm at. I don't think we have that much further to drop. Um, I don't think so. If we get above here, I'd be very, very, very cautious entering any markets um, until we do collapse, until we break down beneath this parabolic increase. Yes, their bullish divergences forming, or their bearish divergences. Yes, they are forming. That being said, bearish divergences can take a very long time to play out. Your best play is to coincide a bearish divergence along with the horizontal support level, which we have. We have this horizontal level. We came up here, we rejected off of it. So we have a bearish divergence along with this horizontal level. So if we are able to hold beneath here, then yes, then you can talk about the bearish divergence actually playing out. However, if we break above here, then we have to assume the bearish divergence is going to continue playing out, and we can easily get to the 110s, I think very reasonably. So, and then it could increase aggressively. We don't even know. It's a parabolic increase. So if we continue this line out, right? Let's continue this line. Extend right line. Okay. Well, that's obviously an excessive movement, but what I'm going with here is you guys can see this can certainly increase if it maintains this velocity for quite a while. And we could absolutely start just really increase this sucker to the 110s and maybe 120s, which would be very bearish. So, um, and there's plenty of moments in our history of crypto, especially, where the parabolic movements actually even break above their parabolic advances. So, if this is the parabolic advance, it could absolutely form a new parabolic movement inside of a parabolic movement. So it could do something like this, retest, and then make it even more parabolic advance. Right? In which case, lower time frame, essentially it makes a different parabolic movement inside a parabola. A parabola inside of a parabola. And that does happen, especially in crypto. So it does happen. So, yep. I guess the key here is I'm not interested in fading the DXY just yet. I think it's a very dangerous play to fade it. So wait for the confirmation. If we break above here and consolidate above here and start really turning into a support level, be very cautious across all markets, not just crypto, but traditional markets as well. And of course, the euro is also something to take note of. Yeah, euro is very important right now. Really want to see the euro hold. Euro breaking up. Be a very bad one to go off right here. I think I'm actually interested in going along right now, though. Probably going to enter into a long. We are getting a bit of a drop right now. I may stick around just until this drop plays out. I also don't be surprised if I do deploy some more here. Okay, so that 4 hours been tested. So now we've actually had our first test into this breaker, this consolidation structure. This is essentially it, guys. Like it can't drop much further. XRP's doing really well right now. What the fuck is going on? Why is XRP so strong? Ripple. Why is Ripple so strong and aggressive right now? See what I'm talking about, though? There's a lot of green across the altcoin market, despite the fact of Bitcoin not looking strong. Why is that? Let's look at the Bitcoin dominance pairing. Strong reaction so far. Didn't touch it. It got so damn close. I missed it by like a few dollars. My buy zone. Just an 8-hour breaker. See that shit? So close. What is going on? Why is XRP? That didn't happen like immediately, did it? I don't think it's happened immediately. It seems like something's going on. I don't know what though. Yeah, this looks really strong. Not really in the mood to be buying into a green candle like this. Fucking Luna. What the fuck, man? Crazy. I think there's really good reason to believe, though, that we're essentially bottoming out here. These altcoins starting to pop off as well is really getting me a little bit interested. Yeah, I don't know. That's oh shit. Chili's looks really bullish. Damn. Looks like a Doge. Curious here. Hmm. A lot of volatility, guys. I'm definitely interested in picking up some crypto here, though. I think it makes a lot of sense to pick up crypto in this region. Um, I don't want to do it too aggressively, but I think there's some damn good reasons here. I just don't know what. I think band may be a good option. I like this rounded bottom here too. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get something. I don't know what though. Yeah, makes sense. All right, so ultimately, guys, what I'm looking for here, I don't like how it dipped down and we had a strong recovery, but it just collapsed right through. Let's do this. Very cautious right now of actually buying because of DXY. That's the biggest issue. That being said, we're also at a point where oh shit. shit, let me get this. We're essentially at a point to where the risk to reward is really, really good, which is why I'm interested here. And just in general, risk to reward's very high. All right, so now we're getting that dip. Logging into my account now. I'm going to see if I want to do this or not. Oh, this is tough. Gold's holding up pretty damn well. DXY is pushing up a bit. So remember why I'm bullish here. Or remember why I'm looking for some sort of a longs here. So this region, see this, that. Oh, I do own quite a bit of light. Okay, cool. Yeah, we have a bullish divergence forming. RSI, relative strength index. We have bullish divergences that are forming in this region. We're coming into a major untested. I say untested, we still have not actually touched this 8-hour breaker yet. So I want to see that 8-hour breaker tested. And then if we come into that level, we also have the support right beneath us as well. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to place some bids between here. Some blind bids. Damn. What? That's crazy. Yeah, I think my play right now, I think I'm just going to be patient here. These funding rates are incredibly low. There's a lot of trapped shorts right now, or a lot of shorts are opening up. Bitcoin dominance collapsing still. I don't really want Bitcoin. I want other coins. I don't want Bitcoin. I don't think Bitcoin is the play. That's clean. I think I want some Atom. think I want some Atom because you have this right here. It's breaking into a parabolic rise here. We have a good retest. You guys can see the retest here. I think I'm going to go ahead and buy some Atom. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I don't like not being exposed, and I really want this coin. I'm basically just spreading some bids out for Atom right now. I think that's the one I want. Yeah, that's what I want. Just looks really, really clean. This is still a support level until it's not, or a resistance level until it's not. So I'm still assuming that this is going to hold as a resistance. Now, if it doesn't, then obviously we have bigger issues. Yeah, I am getting some Atom here, though. Okay, so Atom 60s. Okay, that's good. I'm well exposed. I feel in a lot better spot now that I have some. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm content with that. And again, if we do start to break above here, I'm gonna be dropping a lot of my positions across the board. But right now, I think this is a really good spot to be adding. Longing Atom, more to follow. Yeah, this looks parabolic. It is parabolic. It doesn't look it. It is parabolic. I think this entire structure looks really, really clean. Do do do. I got most of my bids filled for Atom, but the rest that are unfilled, I'm okay with. If they don't get filled, I'm okay with that. Shit, I just closed it by accident. Do do do. Well, Adam's working out. So far, so good. My average entry is 15.94. 15.94 is my average entry ish. So far, so good. I'm not really interested in selling anytime soon. More of like a buy and hold. I just think right now makes a lot of sense. Bitcoin looks to is be bouncing off of the level, sort of. Not really. Still way too early. This is support. Shit, did it again. Yeah, Adam looks really strong. Oh man, the XY needs to drop though. That's so important. God, what the fuck is up with this coin? This is ridiculous. Luna Classic. What in the world is going on with this crap? Yeah, I don't really have a clear target right now for this play. The important thing right now is a clear buying opportunity. Like I think right now makes a ton of sense. So I don't really know where I'm going with this, but essentially, like there's a lot of indicators telling me that this level's pivotal, like really, 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 really important. So Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get off. I'm gonna record a quick video, and then I'm gonna record a quick video, and then go from there. But all right, I'll let you guys go. Record a quick video. All my thoughts. I'm gonna put it in one video, and then I'm gonna release it. So, all right, I'm out. See you guys. Bye.